GCK Circle with Pastor Dr. W.F Kumuyi.
Hello, it is another amazing time at the GCK-KC Circle. I am Florence Warwicker and I am your host for today. With me here is
Divine Power. At the GCK-KC Circle, kings, queens, princes and princesses are being nested, nurtured and meted for royalty.
Have you realized you can go through life allowing pain to dictate how you behave? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
It is not always easy, but that's life. Be strong knowing that there are better days ahead. In today's episode, you have Dr. W.F Kumuyi, a renowned preacher, a mathematician, a university don. But before he comes up, we'll have a short music rendition.
it was a soul-lifting ministration.
Yes, indeed.
Do you know there is something about pain? We cannot always control everything that happens to us in this life, but we can control how we respond to it.
Life is full of misery, loneliness and suffering, and it will be over much too soon because there will be a better end. Dr. W.F Kumuyi shares more on how we can face life challenges to get to a better end.
Job. Let's look at Job chapter 2, verse 7. So went Satan from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. Look at it in verse 8. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse God and die. The wife said, This is too much. Bitterness, this is too much. Sorrow, this is too much. Suffering, this is too much. Affliction, this is too much. Disease, this is too much pain on your body, as was rolling in pain. And the wife said, This is too much. There is nothing to serve God for again. Curse God and die. Did he curse God? He went on worshiping God. He said, well, can we receive good from his hand and not receive evil? I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to grumble. I'm going to keep on serving God. He retained his integrity. You see, if you are sick, that's bitter. If maybe you are failed, that's bitter. If maybe you are punished unjustly, that's bitter. If you are persecuted harshly, that's bitter. If they insult you, if they abuse you, yes, that is bitter. If all the other young people in your community, they are calling you bad names and they turn their back on you, that is bitter. But keep on serving God, everything will change. I said everything will change. Look at verse 13 before we look at the change. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Bitter beginning. Let's see the better end. Go to the very end of the book of Job. Better ending. Verse 10, chapter 42, verse 10. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Love. Write that down. Love. You know, he could have been bitter against his friends because his friends were saying, Job, maybe you committed secret sin. Maybe you have done something wrong. He said, my Lord, he knows the way I'm walking. He said, this is only a trial of my faith. He said, no. They said, you are a sinner. He said, no, but there is no sin in my life. I'm a child of God. I'm righteous in the sight of the Lord. But they accused him wrongly. But he loved them and he prayed for them. What changed the bitterness into being better, into a better life? It is love. And for Job, it's love. You need those three things in your life. If bitter is going to become better. You need prayer, number one. You need righteousness, number two. You need love, number three. They have insulted you, you bless them. They abuse you, you speak good of them. They gossip against you, you are praying for them. They persecute you, you are praying for them. There is love in your heart. That is the thing that will turn the bitter beginning to a better ending. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Whatever you have lost, God is able to add it to your life again. He gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came unto him all his brethren and his sisters and all that were before his acquaintance. You see, the people that had left him before, that didn't come to visit him, that abandoned him, all of them, they came. And now they began to greet him, they began to rejoice with him. Look at verse 12. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than the beginning. That will happen to you. I said that will happen to you. He blessed the latter end of Job more than the beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 asses. And he had 7 sons, and how many daughters? 3 daughters. And then he called the name of the first Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Keren-Happuch. And in all the land, on all the land, were no women found so fair. That means so beautiful as the daughters of Job. And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this, Job lived 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. And Job died being old and full of days. The Lord blessed Job, didn't he? On the basis of number 1, prayer. Number 2, righteousness. Number 3, that's what God is looking for in your life and in my life. If those 3 things are found in our lives, no matter how bitter it may be at the beginning, it will be better at the end. It will be better at the end. It will be better at the end. Never stop praying. That's what makes things better. Never stop being righteous. That is what changes what is bitter to become better. Never stop loving people, loving your enemies, loving your persecutors, loving God, loving the children of God, because bitter beginning will be changed to better ending in Jesus' name.
Remember, no matter how difficult it may be at the beginning, there are better days ahead. On the basis of, number 1, prayer, 2, righteousness, and 3, love.
Yes, don't forget, no matter how many tough days we face, there are better days ahead that make the fight worth it. There is always light at the end of the tunnel.
We believe that you've been impacted. Pastor Dr. W.F Kumuyi will love to hear from you. Please visit our social media platforms and don't forget to join us on the next episode of GCK Circle.